Hey guys, I recently made some chicken piccata. I know I posted that video already, but I decided to make it again because I enjoyed it so much for myself. So I made myself some dinner again. But when you buy chicken breasts, it's hard to buy enough for just one chicken piccata dish. So I have leftover. And so what I decided to do was to make some chicken fingers. So that's what's happening next. They turned out fabulously. I will share with you they're dredged in flour, egg, flour, and then they just taste so good. And I was able to freeze them in segments so that I could pull them out, reheat them, and put them on salad or just have them in dinner by themselves. So I hope you enjoy this one too. So I have about 1.5 cups of flour, and to that flour I'm going to add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of fresh kosher salt and about 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground pepper, but I'm also going to add probably about a teaspoon of fresh ground garlic. And then I will be making a wash that's going to be egg combined with water. I will also share with you, I will not be using vegetable oil. I actually don't know of too many vegetables that actually make oil, so I have a problem with processed food. So I'm going to use organic olive oil. It's going to taste fabulous. It really doesn't matter, but that's what's next. So I'm going to take the leftover chicken that I've already cut into fingers, if you will, and I'm going to dredge it in the flour, the egg wash, back in the flour, and then put it in the oil. I'm going to start heating up the oil to get it to a good temperature. Of course, we have to pay very close attention to when we have about 2 inches of oil on a pan that we don't make it fall, because then everybody's going to have a problem. So as you can see, I have dredged the chicken pieces in flour, put them in the egg wash, put them back in the flour. It is incredibly messy, but sometimes messy makes it really taste good. As you can see, there's not much egg wash left. There's a little bit of flour left, but we're going to season a little bit more as we get closer to being cooked. The oil has been heating, and as I mentioned to you, I don't use vegetable oil. I don't believe vegetables make oil. I do know olives do, but that's different. And so I either use a combination of avocado oil with olive oil, or I use straight up olive oil for what I cook. I don't particularly care to use anything that isn't organic and fresh. So we're about to throw some chicken in there. It's going to be done a little bit at a time. Also know that what I'm doing is letting this flour egg wash mixture on the chicken sit and rest on the chicken for about 5 to 7 minutes, because that's going to make the flour mixture stick to the chicken better when we put it in the oil. So what I've just done is added a tiny bit of flour to the oil to see if the flour will sizzle, which will tell me that the oil is ready. Oil should be about 3 1/4. You can use a candy thermometer, or I just kind of see if the flour does its thing. So I've added the chicken in bits. There's a whole lot more, as you can see. So what we're doing this is in batches, and we're going to turn it, cook one, and then put the next batch in. As you can see, the chicken is cooking. It's going to cook 5 to 8 minutes. It really depends on the size of the slices, or the chicken tenders, if you will. The goal is to have them be golden brown before you turn them. So we're going to cook one side, make sure they're golden brown, turn them over, and cook the next side. So I've turned them. It cooked about 3 minutes. Obviously the oil is very hot, so you have to be incredibly careful, and you're also going to make a mess, just so you know. Be prepared for the cleanup. But the oil is hot, and the first side is golden brown, and that's what we're going to do with all the rest of the chicken. I cannot wait to taste them. They're going to be great. So I got to share with you that what you're seeing here, if you see the brown bits on the left, this is my last batch. And so I've already shared with you that I'm adding balsamic vinegar, honey, apricot jam, and I'm now adding some of the bits from the side of the pan. So all the baking bits that are coming off of the chicken, I'm adding that into my dipping sauce, which is just going to make the flavors just flow up, which is my favorite thing in the world. So these guys look perfect, and what's going to happen is I'm going to have some for dinner tonight, but then I'm going to freeze the others because they're great on a salad, they're great for another meal, and that way I have multiple meals prepared. But of course, if I chop these into bits and put them on top of a green salad, just like I did with the shrimp scampi, it's going to be just an amazing flavor. Please know that some people use buttermilk instead of the egg wash or including the egg wash. I choose not to do that because I find eggs, water, oil, and so on are easy to get than something like buttermilk unless you have the time to go down to the store. My goal is to have people have plenty of food to eat and good food to eat while they're on quarantine. If you're a fan of Chick-fil-A, I certainly am, then you will like the sauce I make. It's apricot jam, salt and pepper, just a bit, balsamic vinegar, and honey. Blended together, it is such a fabulous dipping sauce. The taste is perfect. And the other thing I should share with you guys is that if you notice that the chicken is golden brown, but if you don't have the heat high enough, you're going to overcook the chicken. And we can't have that. So I wish you the best. It's a fabulous meal. Can't wait to see you next time.